A very good morning, dear participants and professionals. It's been an honor to have our 43rd webinar and INVITI Industrial Empowerment webinar on Saturdays from 11 to 12:30. Today is a very important topic which has been asked by one of our participants to talk about the food safety. Food safety at workplace. Yes, we have been going to have food safety at workplace. It's a part 1 and part 2 session. This session, we have been going to have the basics of food safety at workplaces. Next session, part 2, we are going to have all the FSSC standards and also the ISO standards. We are going to see that. With this, we will start our kind of session, INVITI, Invent, Innovate, and Inspire. It's been framed on 4 years back with a lot of inspiration from the young minds of CEG, RLI, and IIT, having a mission to incorporate technological things and also technical things in the day-to-day activities. INVITI is having 3 wings of corporate training in the domain of quality, safety, and technology, audit, and research and development. Research and development, currently 3 projects have been run by our INVITI wing. With this aspect, I like to invite today's speaker, Dr. Joseph, who's been having a vast experience in the field of food safety. He's been there, he's been in different positions, and he's been one of the key members in lot of star hotels. He's been a young person who have been honored and he have been got lot of awards and recognition from the government, non-government, national and international agencies. And we respect your time, sir, and thank you. Despite of your busy schedule, he's been an entrepreneur. We've been running many outlets. He's been having large number of outlets, and also thank you for sharing your knowledge with our participants and also INVITI. INVITI feel proud to welcome you in this platform of knowledge transferring platform to the industry peoples. Have a great day and thank you, sir. The visual screen is yours. You can able to start the session.
Thank you, Professor Satya. And I welcome all the participants to this session, and I congratulate the team for running all these webinars every Saturday. That is what I was made to understand. Every Saturday with the different themes. So I thank once again the administration department of the INVITI who put me across in this session and regarding this food safety. So I will share you the basics about food safety through slides. So I will carry forward with the slides now. Is it viewable, right? I think everyone can see it, right? Professor Satya, is it
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
It is
so first one is the food safety. Food safety refers to routines in the preparation, handling, and storage of food meant to be prevent from foodborne illness and injuries. So the basic of food safety is where it occurs is to eradicate illness and injuries which comes from food. So the main criteria of making food very safe in us is to prevent the foodborne illness and injuries. So to eradicate this, there are very several things we have to keep in mind in order to sustain in the market. Why food safety? Food safety, foodborne and water illness, waterborne diseases kills more than 2.2 people annually, 2.2 million annually, according to the World Health Organization. It also to be considered to be public problem and issue. So if you see in the photo, from the farm to table, that is during the cultivation to the table, or the table in the sense what refers to here is the consumer. So anything from the farm to the table, food safety to be monitorized, food safety to be
Sir, excuse me,
controlled.
sir.
Yeah.
The slide is not changed, sir.
Slide is changed. Now it is changed.
No, sir. You can able to
I am
share it
changed.
again. Now it is shared, sir. Now it is shared.
1 second. I think it is taking time. 1 second. Now it is there. Vice food safety.
No,
Hello,
sir.
it is there. No, I think it will take time because it was buffering. Wait.
Okay, sir. Sure.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. It will take time.
We can't able to hear your voice, sir. Joseph, sir.
Now you can see the slide.
Yes, sir. We can able to see the slide, but the slide is not changing, sir.
I don't know. I think what you have to do is you remove me as a co-host.
Now it is changing, sir.
No. You remove me as a co-host.
Okay.
I have to be as normal, I guess. Otherwise, there is some glitch. Please remove me as a co-host. I will share the slide as a normal.
Yes, sir. It has been done.
So you are no, I am no more a co-host, right?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Okay.
Now it's changing, sir. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
You can able to keep in the full mode.
Yeah. And now it is changing.
Yes, sir. It is changing.
Okay. So why food safety is very important, as I mentioned, it kills more than 2.2 million people annually, according to the World Health Organization, because foodborne and waterborne related diseases makes a big impact in today's world. So it is also to be considered as one of the most problem and issues which is being faced by the public. So when you let's take an ingredient carrot. Or let's take an ingredient called potatoes. So we are selling a French fry in a restaurant. So from the farm, where is the potato is being cultivated? Then from where which transport it is being used? Then which market is being sold, or which market it is being traded, and it comes to the restaurant. So between these parts, that is the farm and the table concept, or the farm to the fork concept, is a way that food safety to be monitored, and it should be in a proper way, so that it doesn't leads to any foodborne or food water diseases. So hazards that can contaminate food. There are 3 hazards. One is the physical hazards, the second is the chemical hazards, third one is the microbiological hazards. The physical hazards are basically metal, wood, glass, plastic, etc. Chemical hazards are basically bleach, caustic soda, detergents, pesticides, etc. Microbiological hazards are basically bacteria, virus, molds, and parasites. So if I want to put it in simple words, in a food production area, where now we can during dining we can come up to this experience called.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Still the slide is not moving, sir. It shows the voucher of NVT. Yes, now it's moving. Yes, thank you,
I
sir.
think I
Okay.
think I think I should not put F5. I think the screen
Okay.
is enough. The screen is enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what happened? Madam, now you can see the change.
Yes, yes, sir. It is
I
changing
think
now.
I think F5 when I press in full
Hmm.
screen, it is not working.
Okay, fine, sir.
Okay, I will go with this itself.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you.
So hazards that contaminate food. There are three types, as I mentioned earlier, but to be specific, because you can see it right now, there are three hazards. One is the physical hazards, the chemical hazards, and the microbiological hazards. So when you dine nowadays, you can find out many foreign objects like metal, wood, glass, plastics, etc. in your food. So these are the physical hazards what the customer experience during their experience of food. So these are the one of the hazards which can contaminate food. The second hazard is the chemical hazards. Third one is the microbiological hazards. Chemical hazards, washing the utensils and the dishes in a proper way using the exact chemicals and exact what is it machineries plays a big role in eradicating all this, because what is it basically when you put all these chemicals and solutions, it is not that you buy the best of the best solution. It is also important that you clean it in a way so that there is no drippings or pendings in the dishes, so that doesn't leads to any other food poisoning or food infection further. Then the microbiological bacteria. This might be an example where you keep food expired products in your zone. The next is the bacterial food poisoning. Bacterial food poisoning are basically single celled living microorganism which happens food poisoning. When you compare food poisoning and food infection, food poisoning is on a lesser note. I think food poisoning it's not much very difficult or nothing to worry. It will be finished off in 2 or 3 days. But whereas when the procession is into food infection, then it leads to a bigger variety of serious issue. So this happens through water, food, correct temperature, time, most but not all they need oxygen. Under these conditions, bacteria will multiply by dividing into different aspects. So these are the bacterial food poisoning. Food poisoning bacteria come from five main sources. These are the food handlers, raw food such as meat, poultry, shellfish and vegetables, pests and animals, air and dust, dirt and food waste. Next is the potential hazards foods. See, in a kitchen or food production area, there is something a terminology called danger zone, which should be followed at all levels. Even what I would say is even at home also you should restrict yourself, or you should come to your zone into a danger zone specific. I will explain you what is danger zone. A potential hazardous food such as supports growth of bacteria. They need to keep the food need to be kept at the temperature below 5 degrees Celsius or above 60 degrees Celsius to prevent the growth of any food poisoning bacteria they might present in the food. Example of potential hazardous foods include meat, poultry, seafood, eggs, dairy, etc. Okay, so I told you about the danger zone. When you see it in this picture, the danger zone is between 5 to 6 degrees Celsius to 64 degrees Celsius. So, in simple words, any food between 6 degrees Celsius to 64 degrees Celsius is dangerous. So either the food should be consumed below 5 degrees Celsius or above 65 degrees Celsius. So there is a terminology that hot food should be served hot, cold food should be served cold. So as a customer point of view, hot should be consumed hot, cold food should be consumed cold. So food which is more than 65 degrees Celsius, that is a boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. So when a food touches 65 degrees Celsius, the food is free from danger zone. As the same way, any food which is being served less than 5 degrees Celsius, it is also safe of, it is also safe from danger zone. So this danger zone should be followed in all aspects. Even at home, it is also good. So the main thumb rule is, if you want to have lunch, you have to have it in apart from the danger zone. That is, you should consume your lunch more than the 65 degrees Celsius concept. So this danger zone should be followed at a highest level in the kitchen and production area. Next is the cross contamination. Cross contamination occurs when food becomes contaminated with bacteria from other sources. So there are many cross contamination happens due to human interventions, due to not following the SOPs of the refrigerator, not following the SOPs of the kitchen. So there are many cross contamination practices or scenes which is seen. First one is, as I told, is the human intervention, the personal hygiene. Poor personal hygiene leads to cross contamination. So example of poor personal hygiene is dirty hands in clothing, uncovered cuts and wounds, long dirty fingernails, excess jewelry on hands and wrist, coughing and sneezing over food, handling food while ill, not washing hands after going to the toilet. So personal hygiene plays a big role in today's and as well as pre-COVID days. But post-COVID and during COVID, it has become very mandatory to follow all every year rules. See, as I told you, due to the cross contamination and contamination of food happens due to various reasons. The first reason is the personal hygiene. Uh, Always people who are related to food and food handlers should be very very what do you say? Basically, they should self check them in few aspects. One is they should cut their nails. Second one is there is a jewelry policy for food handlers. Basically, there should be no jewels to be worn by food handlers during at work, and people who are married can have one wedding ring, that is permittable. But apart from that, people who are related to food handlers should be not wearing any sort of jewelries and kadas or any other uh, uh, what do you say, jewelries in your hand. So that is the basic one. And the second one is that they are also not allowed to grow their nails. Then washing hands before or after, before and after using the restrooms. Then small cuts should be visible and should be what do you say? So small cuts should be visible or noticed to the higher managers and should be covered, and the first aid should be given properly. And that is the basic personal hygiene which has been expected during at work. Which all these fails, I think cross-contamination might happen at higher level. The next is the unclean food premises. Dirty kitchen increases the risk of cross-contamination from pests and particles of food, grease, and dirt. Poor pest control. Each organization should have a, a good pest control in order to eradicate flies, insects, so that they don't tend to be foreign particles in the food. So I can show you three pictures of simple cross contamination. You can see raw chicken is being used in the same chopping board where the carrot is being cooked. So, for example, the carrot might be an individual dish. Let's say the carrot is going for a carrot poriyal and the chicken is going for a chicken biryani. So, when both are being cut into the same chopping board, cross contamination happens. And the cross contamination happens when lots of food items is being racked in a single rack. So for example, like peeled onions and chicken is being hello, yes. So you can see in the kitchen rack that both the cooked and non-cooked ingredients are being uh, arranged in the same rack. So that will also cause you a cross contamination. Next is the better use of color chopping boards. Color chopping boards are very much of basic in nature internationally as well as nationally. In India, we try to use different chopping boards in star category hotel, as well as they are trying to put out in restaurants also. But local dabawalas doesn't use it. They use only one chopping board for everything. So that is a cross contamination, and that should be stopped, or maybe should recommended to use at least 2 to 3 chopping color boards. So you can see different colors in this picture. You can see blue, you can see green, red, and yellow, and white. These every color codes has its own unique uses. So let's say for I want to cut some fish, then you have to choose blue color. Then if you want to cut vegetables, you have to choose the green color. Then if you want to cut some mutton or lamb, that is the red meat, you have to choose the red color. If I want to cut some chicken and some poultry meats, then you have to choose your yellow color. I want to cut some paneer. I want to slice some cheese or grate some cheese. I should use a white color. So these are the things which is under the Indian standards. This might change slightly. Maybe the other things will be same. Maybe the white color might be changing in other countries. So they will use it for cooked meats. So it depends. So these are the color boards you have to use in organization, especially when you are when you are into HACCP and ISO certified restaurants or hotel. But if you take in any five-star hotel, these are the basic 5 chopping boards you can see in the hotels. This is mandatory, and all the hotels have it. So what they will do is they will put these boards into the chlorine sink, and before use they will use it and they will wipe it and they will start using it. So the best way to eradicate the cross contamination is optimal level and vital level of utilization of these chopping board colors. The next is proper deep cleaning is needed. These but these deep cleaning is very much important, and you should find a time and you should find some supporting agents to do so. because these greasy materials might allow various insects and other foreign particles to be a barrier for your foods. So these are the basic contamination. Let's say when you take a Chinese restaurant, see it has lots of fumes and fires during cooking. So what happens when you see the exhaust? It will be mostly on the black side or where your fumes get accumulated. So as a specialty restaurant or at least a restaurant, they should go with the cleaning every 2 days. But in five star hotels restaurants, they will definitely go for everyday deep cleaning. That is according to their SOPs. But normal hotels can go at least 2 days, once in 2 days, because that is very important. Because see, you can see in the picture itself, no, when you see a picture where the deep freezer, there's no deep cleaning which is done on the sides of the deep freezer. What happens is, when there is too much of moisture, deep freezer is made up of metal, basically there are lots of metal is oriented. The metal will turn rusted and it will cost a big bone for the food and its safety. Food should be free from pests and other foreign particles. So as I mentioned, when you take a cauliflower, there should be a perfect cooking method to be used. Correct cleaning and correct blanching should be method, because lots of worms and insects might be there naturally. But whereas when you see in the right picture, there is a bread, there is a cockroach which is attached. So this thing might come due to when the baker didn't notice about the cockroach which is fixed to the bread mold. So the dough is placed after that, and the cooking happens. After cooking, you can see the cockroach is being affixed to the bread. So these are the things where we need higher observance, because at the end of the day, customers are very important, and each foreign particles count you for your business. So before topic, we spoke about the danger zone. As the same here, prevention of food poisoning. Cold food should be served at 5 degrees Celsius or colder. That is for small. Hot food should be served more than 60 degrees Celsius or hotter. All food businesses are required to obtain and use a proper thermometer accurately. So there are many thermometers now available. Now you can see a thermometer which is specially designed for your COVID related. I think that is also more than enough to check. It will be a multi usage, but still it is better to use a temperature which is specifically for production of food, to see whether the food temperatures are being taken care. So when organization, there are people who will be having organization where they'll be having walk-in fridges, walk-in freezers. So it is not that we own a walk-in fridge or walk-in freezer. It is also necessary that you hold your temperature properly, and there should be there will be a logbook that every 2 hours you got to have feeding your temperature, so that you will not lose your food product which is not stable. Avoid cross contamination. Keep food covered until use. Practice correct personal hygiene, as I told you. Separate raw and cooked and old and new food at all the times. Follow FIFO. FIFO should be followed at best cost, because FIFO is the best managerial tool, or operational tool, which can avoid confusions at many levels. Use separate equipment and utensils when preparing raw meats and poultries and seafoods. Clean and sanitize all equipments, utensils, and food contact surfaces. Store chemicals separate from food. Personal hygienes have already discussed. Again, clean hands and clothing. Minimize jewelries on hands and wrist. Tie back or cover hair. Clean and short fingernails. Avoid unnecessary contact with food. Cover all cuts and stores with bright colored waterproof dressing. Do not eat over food or food surfaces. Do not prepare food when you are ill. That is more basic. That is even followed too strictly nowadays because of the COVID pandemic. Avoid touching your face and hair. Do not cough or sneeze over food. Do not taste food with your fingers or double dip with the spoon. So double dip with the spoon is where you insert your spoon, you taste, and you taste it with your dip. That is called a double dip. With wearing gloves, change frequently. See, and one more thing is in when you take Japanese cuisine, they say that wearing a glove is more dangerous with the naked hands. But in Indian standard is different. When you if at all you're wearing gloves, you should try to change frequently, because wearing a set of glove for a 24-hour shift or 12-hour shift is not advisable. That is stupidity what many people are doing. Wearing gloves should be changed because your inner fingers and hands are suffocated. So it needs some sort of breathing space, and a fresh wearing of gloves is appreciated every 1 hour or 2 hours or something. When should you wash hands? This is a great question. And before commencing on your resume of work, after using the toilet, I would say people who are working in food production, before and after using your restroom, after smoking, after handling rubbish, after using a handkerchief or a tissue, after touching your hair or a face, before and after touching raw food, before handling cooked food, after cleaning task. So hand wash should be done in a better way, so that it removes all the burdens and other issues. Next is the washing of hands. See, washing of hands is very important. It is not that you open your tap, you wash it with your soap and come as soon as. Washing hands is an art. Basically, it should be consist of minimum 20 seconds. The global time frame was 20 seconds, but nowadays 30 seconds is also okay, because the better the more the hygiene you had, the better and the best days to come. So this 20-second style washing hands is where basically you start rinsing your hands with basic water. Then you had some soap solution. You 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 turn off your tap, and first you uh, rub all your fingers together. Then you rub your fingers individually. Then you rub your fingers in between. So these are the things which should be followed within these 20 seconds. Then what you have to do is then you have to final rinse with total clean water. Then you have to take a kitchen napkin or a napkin which has been available near the wash basin. Then the final touches, you have to go with a hand sanitizer. So few restaurants or few set of concerns will not have an hand sanitizer near a wash basin uh, because of the cost issues. But basically, it is the end after the kitchen towel, after kitchen napkin. The last step is having your hand sanitizer. This is how they follow it in five-star kitchen aviation catering, then aviation industry and all. So these are the things which have to follow. And before COVID, I am talking about before COVID, every 1 hour there will be an alarm. I have mentioned alarm washing hands. If you take a food establishment, every 1 hour there will be an alarm. So let's say now is 11:36. You will get an alarm so that everyone should wash their hands with this 20-second technique. And you will get another alarm saying 20 or 12:36 saying that you have to go for another hand wash. So there are many concerns who put alarm as basic or urging the employees to wash their hands to be very safe from other germs and other hygiene issues. So nowadays, after COVID and post COVID, it has become mandatory that every 1 hour or I think every half an hour it is an issue, because half an hour you have to think about the total water intake of the concern. But every 1 hour, this 20-second style of washing hands is appreciated. At the same time, it should be proper. It is not that they will waste 20 seconds. The 20 seconds what they wash their hands should be proper and should be worthful. So there is one photo which is missing in this slide, as I told you. So they will first rinse their hands, then they will put their soap solution. They will wash between the hands, between fingers individually. Then they will rinse the hands, fingers. Then they will go with a napkin. After napkin, there should be a hand sanitizer. That is what the process ends. Next, we will see hand washing facilities. It must be accessible to all food handlers, to be used only for washing of hands. That is more important. Don't try to wash your vessels, utensils, and etc. Provide soaps and warm portable water. Provide disposable towels for drying hands. Um, this warmer or a blower, actually it is not hygienic. Uh, After COVID, it is definitely not appreciable regarding the blower. It is always better to have disposable towels or disposable paper napkins. Then provide a dustbin for a disposable towels. That is more also important. Cleaning essential for safe operations for business. Through cleaning and sanitizer for all food surfaces. Remember that most detergent do not kill bacteria, but hot water and sanitizer do. Please do have this system of having a warm to hot water as your utensil degree of water. Don't try to wash your vessels and utensils by a normal water, because normal water will not able to give you justification of 100%, but whereas a pressurized hot water or a warm to hot water will at least try to do some justification for what you need. So that is what it is being asked. Implement a cleaning schedule to ensure that the cleaning is conducted on regular basis. So before slide, we have discussed that once in 2 days of deep cleaning of regarding the exhaust and ventilation. But, not only ventilation, there are many other aspects of cleaning which should be taken and which should be scheduled. Cleaning and sanitizer without a dishwasher. Wear rubber gloves to protect your hands from hot water and chemicals. Remove food particles from scraping or soaking. Rinse in hot water with chemical sanitizer every hot water, and leave to soak. So any utensils which needs a little bit of soaking because of the food particles are being stuck, you have to soak it in a way so that it is easy to clean. Pest control, keep them out, seal the food premises, starve them out, keep food premises clean, throw them out, conduct regular pest inspection, severals. Don't give them a home. Remove all unnecessary equipments and items. Report all pest sites or evidence of pest activity to your supervisor. Next is the waste management. Place waste in plastic lined bins. Remove all waste from premises as required. Empty and clean waste bins regularly. Ensure all external bins are covered. Protect external waste bin area from pests and birds. This is the supply. We use food suppliers that have good reputation. This we have also thought about the storage. 0 to 5 degrees Celsius for fresh, minus 18 degrees Celsius to minus 24 degrees Celsius. Anything related to frozen storage, let us say ice cream also comes under this category. And 60 degrees Celsius and above, anything which food should be cooked more than 60 degrees Celsius, that comes under the hot category. Keep food covered up and up the floor, and no food should be stored in a floor due to safety reasons. Separate food types: meat, poultry, seafood, dairy, fruit, and veg. Separate raw food from cooked and new food from old. Store raw foods such as meat, poultry, and seafood in containers on the bottom. Rotate the stock first in, first out. Preparation: personal hygiene. Ensure that the equipment, utensils, and surfaces are clean. Temperature control. As I told you, monitoring temperature is very much important. We avoid cross contamination. Don't prepare food too far in advance. Cooking: ensure correct internal temperature are achieved using your probe thermometer. Cooling: cool to 5 degrees Celsius within 6 hours. And there is one more important matter we have to take care is the, see, let us say you are making our chicken dish for around 20 to 25 people. So you are preparing their dish in the morning and you want to serve it in the night. So what you have to do is, when the food is prepared, it must be more than 60 degrees. After preparing the food, you must keep the food outside to make it cool completely. Then you have to take it into the fridge to the 5 degrees Celsius within 6 hours. So many big concerns will have this equipment called blast freezer, where the hot food can be taken inside to this blast freezer, and that blast freezer will enable us to control the temperature very fast, rapidly, to bring it down to 5 degrees Celsius. With those who don't have that sort of equipment, they can go with a traditional technique of keeping their food outside for a while, until it is cooled. Then they can take it to the refrigerator. Directly or taking to the refrigerator, that is also will kill the food and its nutrient values. The next is the reheating. It is also called as a reach-off. Reach-off is a French term of reheating. Reheat. Always try to reheat the food at least only once. Reheating more than once, it will spoil the nutritive value of the food, as well as it is unsafe to eat. Reheating food rapidly to 60 degrees Celsius or above. Ensure correct internal temperature are achieved using your probe thermometer. Thawing foods in cool room or fridge in a dripping tray. Thaw only small food items in microwave, then cook immediately. Always ensure thorough defrosting before cooking. Never thaw foods at room temperature. Never thaw food in water. Never refreeze thaw food. What is the biggest problem? What we can see is people for haribari, they will try to thaw food. That is they try to thaw meat products in water. You should not do that. You should do it in a way when your meat is at minus 18 degrees Celsius, you have to bring it to 5 degrees Celsius by keeping the product in a separate tray, in a dripping tray, in a separate column or a rack in your cold storage. Then you have to bring it outside to the room temperature for further cooking. Never ever refreeze the thawed food, because it will destroy the nutritive value as well as the meat consistency and their texture. Next is the waste management, because these are the important things you have to be followed, because we have government, various statutory government interventions also into this. You can see in this picture you have dry papers, dry plastics, e-waste, etc. So everything should be segregated accordingly. Preferably at least 99% of the things should be segregated, because our duty finishes in that same moment. It might be expected from a lower vendor or a lower dhaba and all. That is not possible. But people who are into these restaurants and big concerns should properly follow up this. I think the next picture will give you a better idea. It is divided into two bases segregation. One is the biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable, that is called as dry waste. In Tamil, it is called as makka kuppe and makada kuppe. So in the biodegradable waste, you can see what and all you can add is the cooked food, the balanced food, individual eggshells, bones, anything related to vegetable peels, fruit mashes, kitchen waste, uh, uh, drippings of rice, waters, etc. What you can add it in non-biodegradable waste are basically paper, plastics, wood, fabrics. Maybe what I can give you is, when you open a Maggie, the Maggie you cook, the cover you put in non-biodegradable base. It's simple. Okay, the Maggie what you cook, which is got balance and which want to throw, you have to throw it in a biodegradable waste. Anything which can be degradable in terms of gas is called as biodegradable. Anything which cannot be done with anything is called as non-biodegradable waste. So thermocol, rubber, plastic bottles comes under non-biodegradable waste. So segregate your waste accordingly. That is also more important in the food safety and hygiene, because half of the tension work of in kitchens and the production area will be eradicated at that same point. So this is what I would like to thank. So thank you. Anything else? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You see that? Yes, it is totally not professional, right? I have talked to my colleagues about this. She had some personal issues, but it is.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yeah.
थैंक यू आ गया
Any doubts?
Dear participants, do you have any doubt? You can ask.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. So are you done with the session?
I am done with the session. Do you have guys have any doubts? Please let me know where I can
Participants,
clarify right.
if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, then. I would like to thank our trainer, Mr. Joseph. So thank you for the great session with the great presentation, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all, dear participants, for your valuable time. So I have shared you, dear participants, am I audible? Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So participants, I have shared a feedback link in the comment box. So once we are getting the feedback, then only we can share you the resource file. So kindly please fill the feedback form. Yes, sure, sir. We will share you the presentation once we get your feedback. Thank you so much for participating. And thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thanks for the great session, sir.
Thank you. Always welcome.
Yes, sir.
I think how many participants have joined? Totally, how many
Around 42
participants
have
have
joined,
joined?
sir.
42. Okay.
Yes.
Can we end the session? Anything else?
No, sir. We can end the session.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.